Well, and that's the thing. A professional soccer team here, a professional soccer stadium here, will not be an 82,000 seat dome stadium with temporary sodding.
Yeah.
It's going to look different. It's going to be different. And we've already talked in sort of conceptual terms about the ideas, some of the ideas we have for the stadium that might make it a MLS-friendly stadium. MLS wants 20, 30,000 seats. They want open air. They want natural grass. That's we're saying, okay, what can we do with this existing structure to turn it into, potentially down the road, a 20 to 30,000 seat natural grass, natural turf stadium. And it's been, we were on the record earlier saying that one of the ways to do that is you put a floor under the top deck. And you've got, on top, you've got a 20 to 30 some odd thousand natural grass open air stadium, take the dome off. And then underneath that floor, you've got an arena. You've got a 30, 40,000 seat arena for basketball, hockey, concerts, what have you. And that may be what the Silverdome ends up looking like. We don't know, but the ownership here, they're committed to the building. They are 100% committed to soccer. They have been looking for a venue, for a stadium, for a very long time. People think that this building was bought on a whim. The purchase price didn't hurt, but trust me, they asked the purchase
Detroit
price
Express
in terms of...
We tried it. Detroit Express was here back in the 70s. They brought New York Cosmos versus Santos. There's a 10, 15-year-old that was here to while. Unfortunately, Pele didn't come that day, but it was the same thing as we saw here.
Continue because Ronaldinho didn't come today, which we were really disappointed about because as fans, we were looking forward to watching. But it was some fun soccer out there. There's some good stuff. There's some great plays. There's some controversy. We end up with the penalty kicks, which is cool. But the goal will be with the family. The family and the stadium. They have been looking for a venue for a very long time, and they've had in the past ownership interests in soccer teams in Greece, non-controlling interest, but interest nonetheless. So this is not something that they are completely new to. So if you're a professional league, you see wealthy, entrepreneurial people who love soccer and who own their own stadium, which in this day and age of taxpayers not wanting to foot the bill for a new stadium, I was quoted once as saying that most rich guys buy teams and then go looking for a stadium. Andreas is doing it the other way around. He's buying a stadium and going looking for a team. And what they didn't finish the quote was, most rich guys buy a team and then go ask the taxpayers to build them a stadium. He's doing it the other way around, and because of the fact that he controls this, within the bounds of building code and OSHA, he can do whatever he wants here. That's attractive to any number of potential partners and leagues.
John, I got a question. How is
Thank you.
Sure.
How is the cooperation with the city and with
we are very proud to be in Pontiac. We started off rocky because they were worried about what was going to happen to the stadium. And then we got a lot better when they realized that the family was committing to making this an entertainment venue that would host events, bring people in, bring economic activity. And today I went and picked up lunch at the Burger King half a block down, and I sort of said, I was wearing my passes and radio and everything, and they said, hey, we're really looking forward to getting a bunch of business from the game tonight. I thought that was cool. That's the whole reason.
That's the whole idea,
doing
right?
Stuff like this. Obviously there was a communication mishap that happened with the medical marijuana convention that's happening.
Yes.
That really was, and I was talking with city council members last night. That was very much a communications problem rather than a true. Once the promoters, because this is just a building rental of the Silverdome, once the building owners and the city started talking about what was going to be happening here, and more importantly, what was not going to be happening here, which was like a hash bash, tempers started cooling and people started understanding what was happening. The promoters in the city still have a ways to go, but we're absolutely committed to working with the city. I mean, it's their laws, it's their city. Our goal is to bring activity and excitement and jobs and tax revenue. I mean, paying taxes here. This place never paid. There are 127 acres in the middle of Pontiac that all of a sudden are on the tax rolls, and that solves a lot of...
So it's basically win-win combination for all of us. For soccer fans, for everybody, for the city, fans, for everybody.
It's a process. It is a process for soccer fans as we get through to it. It is a process for us as residents of Pontiac now, and as a business in Pontiac and in Oakland County as well, because it wasn't just the city of Pontiac. Oakland County had very legitimate concerns based on what they were seeing out in the media. It's a process for us as venue owners. We've talked, there's a lot of changes to be made. This building was cold and vacant and dark for 5 years, and imagine everything you'd have to do to fix a house that you had bought that had been sat cold and dark and vacant for 5 years, then multiply it by 127 acres and 82,000 seats.
Back to soccer. I was talking to Dan Duggan from Michigan Bucks earlier, and we were talking about, soccer in this area throughout the last 3 decades. And what would it take to eventually bring some sort of professional soccer to Metro Detroit? He was talking about Toronto and Seattle with a different route where they went to a first division premier team, built it up, proved that they could get X amount of season tickets, X amount of people through, and then went to MLS, and they're actually making money as compared to some of the other MLS teams. Have you guys been talking to people like the Bucks and other organizations around Michigan, or what's the...
There's been conversations at all sorts of different levels. We've got a stadium here that's empty a lot of the time, but it's also what can we do right now to make it soccer friendly? Is that the Lions AstroTurf, which is the other field service option we've got right now? I don't know a lot of people that would necessarily want to play on that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. It's an honest question. It's one of those things we decided. But it's going to be cool. Over the next couple days, there's going to be some amateur leagues and some teams, especially those that were really involved in some of the soccer community outreach, playing some friendly matches out here on this turf. And then I think the best thing that's happening, I don't know if you guys got the message about this or not, but the coolest thing that's happening with this turf, you're talking about soccer, is that it's going down to Patton Park in southwest Detroit.
On Vernon Street.
With Dixon, whatever, the Latino World Soccer League, that's got a field that the soccer experts have looked at and said they can't believe people don't break an ankle every time they play. And a whole bunch of businesses in the community, excavating, transportation, dirt. There's 150 some odd volunteers who are going to be involved in getting all this turf out, chopping it up, putting it on pallets, getting it in trucks, getting it down to Southwest Detroit in a timely manner. And just like the turf that lived in the Silverdome for World Cup in '94 is still a soccer field on Belle Isle, this turf is going to live on as a world-class field in Southwest Detroit for a league with, I believe, 86 teams that I think if I remember correctly, their U16 team just beat the state U16 team. So we're very proud to leave that going on. And as the Silverdome stays looking like this, and we bring in natural grass for other events, hopefully we've got a tradition started that we might be able to make a couple different fields around the region look just a little bit better and play a little bit better by the time that we've got by the time something looks differently and it's maybe something other than the Silverdome.
John, what's your last name?
Mozena, M-O-Z-E-N-A, John with an H.
So frankly speaking, that was a success. That event was a success.
It was absolutely a success. Like I said, it was a test run. It was a test run of building, of soccer, of fans, of marketing, of advertising, of ticket prices, of teams on the field, of how the grass worked. It was a test in a lot of different ways. And part of a test is some questions you get right, some questions you get wrong. At least I always did. I never got all the questions right. That's why I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm a PR guy. But we know we did some things right. We know there's some things we can do better. I don't think there's anything we screwed up really, really terribly badly. If there is, I haven't heard about it. Nothing's exploded on my radio or my BlackBerry yet. I'm sure if it has, people will let us know. We're looking for community input. You guys speak to the community. We would love to hear. We've got very good feedback so far, pro and con either way, on our Facebook page, Twitter account, people calling in, write letters, talk to people they see in the community. We'd love to hear from folks who are here or folks who didn't come, why they didn't come, people who did come, what they think. But absolutely we're open to that.
Frankly speaking, that was a typical European soccer game. Even we have a guy running on the field and all of that. This is typical for Europe.
I saw that happen, and I turned to the person next to me and I said, well, we're real.
He came closer.
Yeah, that guy went on the field, and I think the security guards who took him down were channeling the Lions a little bit. That was a nice take.
That was a nice tackle.
If Jim Schwartz were here, he'd have been signing that guy up, get him out to Allen Park for training camp, because that was it didn't hurt him. He just got him down. And I was watching the kids walk off with the cops, and they were laughing. So. Please don't.